Adolf Hitler, a name that still echoes in the annals of history, began his life in a small town of Braunau am Inn, Austria, on April 20th, 1889. Born into a modest family, his father, Alois Hitler, a stern customs officer, and his mother, Clara Hitler, a gentle housewife, played significant roles in shaping Adolf's early years. Growing up in Austria, young Hitler showed little interest in the formal education system and instead developed an early passion for German nationalism and the arts. But alas, his dreams of becoming an artist in Vienna were thwarted by repeated rejections from the Academy of Fine Arts. In the midst of these struggles, he faced a devastating blow. His mother, Clara, to whom he was deeply attached, passed away. The death of his mother left a profound impact on young Hitler, shaping the man he was to become. Hitler's life took a dramatic turn with the onset of World War I. Trading his artist's palette for a soldier's rifle, he found himself in the muddy trenches of the Western Front. His experience in the battlefield was a crucible, shaping his worldview and hardening his resolve. A gas attack left him temporarily blind, a stark reminder of the brutality of war. The war's end did not bring relief to Hitler. Germany's defeat and the subsequent signing of the Treaty of Versailles left the nation humiliated and burdened with unbearable reparations. Hitler, like many Germans, felt a deep sense of betrayal and resentment. In the aftermath, he began to nurture a fervent nationalism and a virulent anti-Semitic ideology. He blamed the Jews for Germany's downfall and the Marxists for their surrender. The seeds of his destructive ideology were sown. The end of the war marked the beginning of Hitler's political journey, fueled by a deep-seated resentment for the Treaty of Versailles. From a disillusioned war veteran to the Führer of Germany, Hitler's rise to power was swift and calculated. After World War I, Hitler found a new purpose within the German Workers' Party, a small political group of nationalist and anti-Semitic ideologies that would later evolve into the infamous Nazi Party. Hitler's charisma and impassioned speeches quickly drew attention, and he rose through the ranks to become the party's leader. However, Hitler's first attempt to seize power proved to be premature. In 1923, he led an insurrection known as the Beer Hall Putsch, intending to overthrow the German government. The coup failed and Hitler was sentenced to prison, but this setback would not dampen his ambition. During his time in jail, he penned Mein Kampf, or My Struggle, a book outlining his political ideology and future plans for Germany. Upon his release, Hitler worked tirelessly to rebuild the Nazi Party. He realized that the path to power was through legal means. Hitler and his party began to participate in the democratic process, focusing on elections and propaganda to sway public opinion. The economic turmoil and social unrest of the 1920s and early 30s provided fertile ground for Hitler's nationalist and racial ideologies to take root. In the general elections of 1932, the Nazi Party became the largest party in the Reichstag, the German parliament. Despite initial reluctance, President Paul von Hindenburg appointed Hitler as Chancellor in January of 1933. This was a calculated move, believing they could control the seemingly reckless Hitler. However, they gravely underestimated him. In the following months, Hitler consolidated his power, transforming Germany into a totalitarian state through a series of decrees and laws. By the end of 1933, he had effectively dismantled the democratic institutions of the Weimar Republic, replacing them with his authoritarian regime. By 1933, Hitler had ascended to the heights of power, setting the stage for a dark chapter in world history. With Hitler at the helm, Germany embarked on a path of aggressive expansionism, triggering the Second World War. This was no ordinary war. It was a war fueled by a lethal mix of ambition, ideology, and unchecked power. Hitler's foreign policy was a testament to his lust for territorial conquest. He aimed to create a vast German empire that would dominate Europe and beyond. His methods were calculating and ruthless. The annexation of Austria in 1938, also known as the Anschluss, was a clear display of his expansionist agenda. Yet the world watched in silence. Next on Hitler's list was Czechoslovakia. Under the false pretense of protecting the German-speaking population there, he orchestrated the Munich Agreement, which effectively handed over the Sudetenland to Germany. This was not mere territorial acquisition. It was a strategic move, weakening Czechoslovakia's defences and paving the way for a full-scale invasion. But the tipping point came with the invasion of Poland in 1939. Hitler's blitzkrieg tactics, characterized by rapid, relentless attacks, left the world in shock and marked the beginning of the Second World War. This was a war of unprecedented scale, involving over 30 countries and resulting in the death of over 70 million people. In the shadow of this global conflict, Hitler set in motion one of the most horrifying atrocities in human history, the Holocaust. This was the systematic state-sponsored genocide of 6 million Jews. Men, women and children were rounded up, stripped of their humanity and exterminated in concentration and extermination camps like Auschwitz and Treblinka. Their crime? Merely their existence. The Holocaust was not an isolated incident. It was part of Hitler's final solution, a chilling plan to eradicate all Jews from Europe. This genocide was meticulously planned and executed with a chilling efficiency, a testament to the depths of Hitler's hatred and prejudice. But the horrors did not stop there. Hitler's war machine was also responsible for numerous other war crimes. Forced labor, brutal suppression of resistance, indiscriminate bombing of civilian areas, and the use of chemical weapons were all part of the Nazi regime's arsenal of terror. Hitler's reign of terror left a horrific trail of death and destruction, marking one of the darkest periods in human history. It was a time when the world witnessed the devastating consequences of unchecked power, extreme ideology, and the capacity for humans to inflict unimaginable suffering on their fellow beings. And it serves as a stark reminder of the lengths to which hate, fear, and prejudice can lead us if left unchecked. The tide of the war turned against Hitler, leading to his downfall and eventual death. As the Allies began their march across Europe, Hitler's military tactics faltered. He had always been a gambler in warfare, but now his luck was running out. A series of blunders, including the ill-conceived invasion of Russia and the failure to anticipate the D-Day landings, led to significant territorial losses. In the face of defeat, Hitler retreated to his bunker in Berlin. There he lived out his final days, far removed from the reality of the crumbling Third Reich. The bunker became a world unto itself, full of paranoia and despair, a fitting end for a man who had brought so much destruction. In these final moments, Hitler married his longtime companion, Eva Braun. Their union was a brief one, marked not by joy, but by the impending doom. Merely 40 hours after their vows, they chose to end their lives together. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler and Braun committed suicide, their bodies later found by their staff. In this way, Hitler's reign of terror came to an abrupt end. His dreams of a 1,000-year Reich had lasted a mere 12 years, resulting in millions of lives lost and a continent in ruins. In the depths of his bunker, Hitler met his end, leaving a war-torn Europe in his wake. Hitler's legacy is a chilling reminder of the destructive power of hate and authoritarianism. The aftermath of World War II and the Holocaust left an indelible mark on the world, a wound that continues to shape our present and future. The establishment of Israel in 1948 was a direct result of the Holocaust. It offered a sanctuary for Jewish survivors, a place where they could rebuild their lives. It was a beacon of hope amidst the ruins, symbolizing resilience and courage. The Nuremberg trials, held between 1945 and 1946, were a significant response to Hitler's atrocities. They brought Nazi war criminals to justice, established the precedents for dealing with war crimes, and underscored the necessity for international law. In the aftermath of the war, Germany was divided into East and West, a stark manifestation of the Cold War. This division lasted for over 4 decades, marking a significant chapter in world history and politics. Hitler's impact extends beyond these historical events. His actions continue to influence contemporary politics and society. They serve as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of unchecked power, prejudice, and hatred. His legacy has prompted us to question, to challenge, and to learn. It has compelled us to strive for a world that values peace, justice, and equality above all. Though Hitler's reign ended over 7 decades ago, the lessons from his life and actions continue to shape our world today.